The pick is in.
The Orlando Magic have made a selection in the 2025 NBA Draft. I'm Tenitra Batiste, and I'm joined now by host of Locked On Magic, Philip Rossman-Reich, and the Magic have selected Jase Richardson, the guard out of Michigan State, with the number 25 pick. The Magic, of course, get Richardson, that pick by way of the Denver Nuggets. For you, Philip, was this more of a good move, bad move, or a surprising move for you?
It was a good move. You know, if you look at the things the Orlando Magic need, Jase Richardson checks a lot of those boxes. They need another kind of lead guard who can attack off the dribble. They need a score. They just need scoring. They were one of the worst offensive teams in the league last year, and they need excellent shooting. And Jase Richardson really gives them that. He doesn't come maybe in the package the Magic typically go for, is on the smaller side. But he's going to fit into this team really, really well because the Magic love having as many players who can do something with the ball as possible. And he'll be a big boost for them off the bench.
Yeah, because when I think about offense, Philip, I got to tell you, I don't think Magic, and I do think about them needing, it's like literally possessions on top of possessions and players that can actually do something with those possessions. So yeah, you're absolutely right. They've been making some moves, it seems like, to address that of late. And then as well, I thought this was interesting. A lot of commentary about Jase Richardson's son not being invited to the green room, maybe indicative of where it was thought he'd be drafted. But did you expect him to actually still be available at 25?
You know, I thought there was a chance he would slip, but I thought somebody would take him. You know, we just spoke to Jeff Weltman, the Magic's president of basketball operations, as we're recording this, and he said we were looking at Jase Richardson at 16, which the Magic had before they moved it in the Desmond Bane trade. I was a little, you know, I felt like he was going to slip a little bit because of his size concerns. He measured at 6 foot, and a quarter inch during the combine. But he is a high quality player and someone that's going to help the Magic a ton.
Yeah, and sometimes when your father has played at a high level in the NBA, like his dad, Jase Richardson, you think about the high IQ that kind of comes with that, and also a player from Michigan State. I mean, we're talking about high IQ there as well. So a player that you can kind of take a chance on in terms of basketball IQ. But again, you think about maybe some of those challenges. We'll talk about that in a second as far as weaknesses or areas to improve. But what about his biggest upside? What do you like about Jase's game?
Just the fact that he can shoot. You know, he's a 41% shooter in college. He obviously kind of his role grew as the season went on, and he maintained that. It's just he's efficient in so many areas. His ability to score at the rim. He's like among the best of guards scoring and finishing at the rim. He's one of the best three-point shooters in this class, and those are things the Magic need desperately. They just need people who will put tension in the defense, and hopefully he can continue to grow and build off of that.
Indeed. And Magic, obviously, as you mentioned earlier, reportedly making the move to get Desmond Bane, now bringing Jase Richardson in. This is a wide open Eastern Conference, a time where you want to make some tweaks to your roster and make some moves in hopes of maybe taking advantage of, albeit unfortunate, situations with Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers, with the Knicks not knowing who the heck is going to be at the helm come fall, at least as of today. And of course, Jason Tatum, and to some extent, even not kind of knowing about Jaylen Brown. All of that said, do you feel like these moves, Richardson, Bane, can contribute to what the Magic are trying to do in being contenders in the East?
Absolutely. I mean, again, we talked about it. The Magic's biggest weakness was their offense. They were last in the league in three-point field goal percentage. Yeah. They added one of the very best three-point shooters in the league and one of the best three-point shooters in this draft class. They were 27th in offensive rating. Their offense should be a lot better. They still have some things to do to add to their depth and be better on that end, but they have come very far from where they were at the end of last season. And with the East being this wide open, as long as they're healthy, they're very much in the thick of things.
Yeah, I'd always say every time they came to town here in Atlanta, one of the more dangerous teams coming out of the East. Appreciate you, Philip. And for more on Jase Richardson, here's Locked On Spartans host Matt Sheehan.
You know what they say, great things come in small packages. That is certainly the case with Jase Richardson. What's up, everyone? Matt Sheehan of Locked On Spartans. And yes, Jase Richardson played his college career, his all 1 year, at 6'3" on a college roster. Well, unfortunately, at the combine, measured just a tick over 6 feet tall, and that could be a limitation for him. On the defensive side of the ball, yes, he was a plus defender in college, but could that lack of size make an impact on the defensive side of the court in the NBA? Does he have any other flaws? Like, yeah, sure, he favors going left more than he likes going right, but guys, overall, this is a dynamic player on the offensive side of the court here. I'm not going to say that he single-handedly dragged Michigan State to a Big Ten title, but there is no Big Ten title without Jase Richardson and what he did on the offensive side of the court, finishing at the rim at a 69% clip. And then from three-point land, goodness gracious, 41%. He has great vision, an outstanding passer. Guys, I know that, hey, he might slide to the back half of the lottery or even outside the lottery, but all things considered, he is a plus player for whatever NBA franchise is about to get him.
And for continued coverage of Jase Richardson, check out Locked On Magic on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.